We've gone around the continent clockwise. The reason we did this, the big picture, we wanted to simply draw a circle around North and South America and say, look, this is one island surrounded by one ocean. We're all in this together. Anything that we do on the West Coast eventually affects what happens on the East Coast and vice versa, and affects what happens in South America. So we were trying to build an image that, we're in this together. People in South America should be very concerned about what we're doing in North America, because 90% of the population lives north of the equator. They ought to really be concerned about our environmental practices in regard to the ocean, because it all ends up down there. So we drew a circle around it, and we decided to trace that circle in a sailboat and write about it and take pictures about it and teach about it and do science along the way, and create some interest, so people followed that route and got the idea that this is one island.
So there's a lot of responsibility for the ocean regarding its neighbor, whatever country that is, and I suspect some people are maybe doing a little bit better job than other people.
No, there's no doubt. Some people are doing a better job than other people, but that doesn't mean we all shouldn't try and do a better job. So, there is or was an attitude of, well, if across the ocean they're just going to start dumping this stuff, why should we care? Well, we should care even more, actually. The ocean is so vast in most people's minds, and it is. I mean, we're out there. It is vast. It seems like it just does a terrific job of absorbing everything, and the problem is it does. It absorbs everything. Plastic is the easy issue. You see plastic, it seems like it ought to be easy to control. It's what you can't see. We found out that's really the problem. We've been fortunate to have great scientists on board. Dr. Michael Reynolds, climate scientist, terrific guy. He's helping. He's telling us what's there, how to measure it, why it's important, and using words that we can all understand. And that's been a very important part of this. We're all veteran sailors. We all have a lot of miles under our belts here, but we can all still learn. The neat part about this, as we've gone around the Americas, we've made now, gosh, I think this is the 45th stop in a port. In each one of those stops, we've invited schools to come down, people to come down. We've done a little presentation. We've talked about what we see as the presenting issues, listen to what they're saying about how their lives have changed because of climate change, because of warming in the north, or fishing in the south, or you name it. And those stories get mixed together, and we can retell them so that everyone around that's following this can hear those stories and come to their own conclusions.
Well, I don't want to throw any country under the bus. I suspect some are doing better than others. You're not going to change practices overnight. It seems like, though, that you're trying to create an awareness of what's going on.
I think that's all we can do. I think the main mission here is that we would do research, we would document what we're seeing, we would try and fold that into an education program and communicate it. So here's what we're seeing, here's why it's important, here's why we ought not be doing this. It's an awareness thing. I think everyone on board knows that if change is going to happen, it's going to happen because the kids that are about this high coming on the boat and get really wide-eyed about this adventure and what it means, and what this blue highway out here, where it can take you and why it's important. Those kids, the more of those kids that know about this, the better. If they don't understand why the ocean is important, we're in deep doo-doo. We're in deep kimchi. They've got to understand that. And worldwide, there has to be more education. Teachers have so much to do. I'd hate to just add something else to them, but if, I'd be willing almost to cut out some core curriculum and insert, ocean health, because it is so important to our future, and it is taught so little in most of the schools. The kids get it. When they come on board and they see this circle around the Americas and we talk about pollution, we've had great questions that, just are disarming. Well, why would anybody dump plastic in the ocean? Well, when a kid like that, asks you that question, how do you explain how we've ignored this problem?